grip it as if I'm the first person to go. So, starting up with the end cap, you have your seat belt, which is properly mounted and secured, now ripped or torn. It is adjustable, and it latches and unlatches. You will demonstrate that and leave it latched for the remainder of the test. From there, on the left side here, you have your fire extinguisher, which is properly mounted and secure within its bracket. It's a minimum of a 10 BC that's fully charged in the green zone with an up-to-date sticker and a safety pin in place. Behind the passenger seat, I should have my red reflective triangles, which should be properly mounted secure within their box and not cracked or broken and able to stand on their own. In the glove compartment, I should have one spare fuse for every electrical component of the vehicle unless it is circuit breaker equipped. And from there, I will do a safe start, which for that, you want to ensure the vehicle's in neutral. Be sure the brakes are popped out. You'll put the clutch down and turn the key one click to the right. You will state that your ABS light came on and went off. After the gauges have swept, you can then start the vehicle. You remove your foot from the clutch and then you'll start pre-tripping. So, I'll start over with my gauges. My gauge shield is properly mounted secure, not cracked or broken, and it is clean. I should have no warning lights and buzzers active. If you are the second, third, or fourth person to go, you will say, I should have no warning lights and buzzers active, but I do have my low air pressure warning light and buzzer active because my air pressure is low. On test day, just bring some attention to it. So from there, at the top left, you have your oil pressure gauge. When idle, it should be between 5 to 20. When operating, it should be between 35 and 75. My current reading is 50. My water should be within 180 to 210 degrees. My current reading is 125. For my primary and my secondary air gauge should operate between 120 to 140 psi. My governor kicks in at 100 psi or below. It kicks out between 120 to 140. If it doesn't and it builds to 150, the safety release valve will open to release the extra air to prevent system damage. My current reading on my air is 140. My voltmeter, which is the digital display in the center here, should operate between 12 and 14.5 volts. Current reading is 14.
We are going to go to lunch at 30 to 11:30.
Gotcha.
All right, just for today, to make sure. I got a feeling a half an hour ain't going to be enough. Get all the way to Florence, get something.
It's not.
Okay, we're going to 30 to 11:30. Okay.
Gotcha. So, finished up with all of my gauges. Then from there, I have my light indicators. You have your left, your right, your high beam, which is indicated with the blue light in the center, and your four-way indicators are all working. From there, I have my mirrors, which are properly mounted secure, not cracked or broken. They are clean and adjustable to the driver. From there, I have my windshield. Properly mounted secure, not cracked or broken. It is clean. I am allowed a crack no longer than 1 inch, and it cannot impede the driver's view. I should have no illegal stickers, but I do have my up-to-date safety inspection sticker. I have my weather stripping, which is properly mounted secure, soft and pliable with no leaks. For my windshield wiper arms and my windshield wiper blades, they're properly mounted secure, not cracked or broken. The blades are soft and pliable with proper tension to the windshield. We'll test, make sure the fluid works, which it does. I have my horns. I have my city horn, which is in the center of the steering wheel. It works. I have my air horn cord, which is now ripped or torn, and it works. For the vents, you'll be sure that the air is all the way on, and you will test each vent individually. I set it to my defrost first. Feel the air, it's working properly. For the floor vent, the vent for the floor is above the accelerator. It is working properly. And of course the face vents here are working properly. So, just a quick review in my mind, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so from there, I will do my tug test. This is the part of the test where it's either pass or fail. These tests here must be demonstrated. So, for my first tug test, I'll be testing my tractor. When testing whichever one you are testing, you push in the opposite brake. So, I'll be testing my tractor first. So, clutch down, low gear. Tested tractor, pushing in trailer. 2 hands on the wheel, your right foot stays on the floor. It will give a slight tug. That's all you need. Re-secure the vehicle, pop the brakes first, then shift to neutral. At the end, that test was successful. My parking brake held my vehicle in place. From there, I will be testing my trailer brake, which the setup is the same. Clutch down, low gear. Testing trailer, pushing in the tractor. 2 hands on the wheel, and once again, give a slight tug. That's all you need. Re-secure. That test was successful. My trailer brake held my vehicle in place. From there, I'll do my combination service brake test, which for that, I will roll forward approximately 3 to 5 miles an hour while lightly holding the steering wheel. I will apply the clutch and service brake and ensure that the vehicle is not pulled to either side. So, clutch down, low gear. Push in both. Hands lightly on the steering wheel. Your foot will cover the brake pedal for this. You'll roll forward. Clutch down, brake pedal. Re-secure the vehicle. At the end, that test was successful. My vehicle stopped in a straight line. If it did not, that can indicate one of a few problems. Lower flat tire, uneven ground, shifted load, brakes out of adjustment, or a suspension problem. We'll have to know all 5 of those reasons. From there, I will go over my applied pressure test. The setup for the applied pressure test is where the vast majority of fails happen. These steps must be done in this order. If you go out of order, you will fail. So, you want to ensure that your air is within the proper range, which mine is. So, starting up, it is clutch down, low gear. Turn the vehicle off. Turn it back on for the accessories. So, just 1 click to the right. You will take your foot off of the clutch, then you will release your brakes, yellow first, then red. Now that is the setup for the applied pressure test. Now I will do the applied pressure test. For that, I will apply firm pressure to the brake pedal and I will hold for a minute. Within that minute, I will not lose more than 4 psi for a combination vehicle or 3 psi for a single. Put all the way down on that brake pedal and you will hold. You will either count the entire minute or the examiner will take control of the test. If the examiner takes control of the test, they will ask, have your gauges stabilized? The answer is yes. Do you hear any leaks? The answer is no. Then they will tell you can move on to the next test. Only then do you bring your foot up. At the end, that test was successful. I did not lose more than 4 psi. From there, I will do my fan down 1, which is the warning light and buzzer test. Which for that, I will fan the brakes down till my low air pressure warning light and buzzer come on, which will be before 60 psi. So fan it down. That test was successful. My low air pressure warning light and buzzer has come on at 63 psi. You always want to say a number somewhere between 61 and 65. So from there, I'll do my pop-out test. Which for that, I will continue to fan my brakes down till both my tractor and trailer spring brakes both pop out. Trailer brake pops out between 20 to 45 psi. The tractor will pop out between 20 to 40. The trailer does pop out first to prevent a jackknife. So from there, you will continue to fan down. While doing this test, your eyes do not leave that parking brake. Alright, so that test was successful. Now you will have to give the current readings on where they popped out at. So what you want to do is what your primary gauge is currently reading, that's going to give you the number for your parking brake. So my parking brake popped out at 24 psi. Now this one, as you can tell, you won't really know that. You're going to bullshit that number. It's never going to be perfectly accurate, but as long as it sounds correct. So my parking brake popped out at 24. I had to pump quite a bit, and as you can see, they popped out fairly far apart. So I'm gonna add about 10 PSI to this. So 24 for the parking, 34 for the trailer. That test was successful. From there, you will re-secure the vehicle, which for that is clutch down into neutral. Turn the key one click to the left. At this point, you can review and say anything that you may have missed, and you will still get the point. I know that I'm fine, so I will say this concludes my NCAP. That's it. So it looks like it's lunchtime.